I still believe in downtown Rocky Mount. That's why I decided to move my business back down there. I missed home. I missed my friends,
Yeah.
and you know, and sometimes like my business friends, they're all like, "Oh man, it's a lot of cars that go through this. You should move here, or you should
Yeah.
move there, you should
Yeah.
move here." But my heart is like, in
Good.
downtown.
Good.
I put forth
They
the
need
effort.
you.
Yeah, well,
They
I
need
hope
you.
so. I hope so.
And a lot of the rest of the people that are have come back home,
Yeah.
and it just it's gonna work.
It's gonna work. Yeah. We just have to figure out a way of conveying to the entire community
Yeah.
of Rocky Mount that this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Just gotta do it
Believe.
smart,
Gotta
fiscally
believe.
responsible, and I think that it will work. Where do you see, in your heart of hearts, what do you see downtown Rocky Mount in another 10 years?
Oh, absolutely. I can't allow myself to believe
I'm with you.
anything else.
Yeah.
That some of our troubles
Yeah.
will have worked themselves out, and more people will come.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about the point of the Black-owned businesses, how
Yeah.
important that is to the community,
Yeah.
and I just can't understand why we can't sort of do this side by side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it not making some point somehow rather that, well, this is all going to be this, or that across the board, building by building,
Yeah.
new business
Yeah.
added to the tax rolls. What I'm really excited about is this whole new, the concept of living above the store.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we grew up, especially in the Chicago area,
That was commonplace.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is again. I've been down to New Bern for that Main Street conference, and a lot of living above the store.
Yeah.
And in Elizabeth City, some of the places that have just
Some of
they
the
have-
best views in Rocky Mount
yeah.
on the second
Oh.
level of some of the that's a hidden secret
It is.
that a lot of people
It is.
in Rocky Mount don't realize. Is
I've
that
showed some pictures.
some of the best views of the city.
Absolutely.
From the Douglas building, there's that corner apartment that's above the bath place. To look out and see Rocky Mount, from there is amazing.
It is amazing. And when you go down to Greensboro, South Carolina,
Yeah.
boy, I overuse the word, but talk about the poster children for revitalization.
Yeah. Charleston too. I mean,
Yeah, they've got
it's
it
good.
all going on, and the idea that's what I see is going to happen.
Yeah.
The energy, the community of people living above the stores that come out at night and wave at their neighbor and
Yeah.
look out for somebody's mail if they're out of town, and
Yeah.
just to me, there's no reason that it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. And then a lot of it is, the relationships that are formed over the years of the business owners downtown. We don't think that way. We don't worry about this person, how they look and how this person look, and we just want to survive. We just want to make money. There's this underground network where we help each other out. We loan money to each other if somebody's struggling,
It's
and
great.
we
It can't happen without that.
no, it can't. And we share ideas off of each other. It's one community where we all, really work together. And I just wish sometimes people in Rocky Mount can look above certain rhetoric.
Yep.
And can just stand back some days and just
It's
look.
hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. I never intended with the blog, it was going to be, architecture and
Yeah.
the stories of people.
Yeah.
And inch by inch,
Oh, they reeled you in. It's funny. You and I talked about it. It's like the downtown businesses would call me and they'd be like, Terry, Stepheny, tell Stepheny don't write about that, don't write about that. So I would call our friend and I would chew him out, like, relay a message to her, don't write about that stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me a bit.
no,
I
and that's
want
what
to
he would say.
learn.
And he would tell me, he was like, Terry, she's a 70-year-old white woman. I mean, like, you have to look at it from that perspective, and then now you tackle the problem when you look at it from that perspective. And when I looked at it from that perspective, and you and I had conversations, we could talk about anything.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I can go pro-black, I can go pro-business, I can go pro-community, and you just absorb it all and
I
just
learn
listen.
from you, about things that it's true that I don't have not been a part of my experience.
Yeah.
Growing up in Evanston, I went to school with black children from kindergarten on,
Yeah.
cheered for them on wrestling mats,
Yeah.
the quarterback on the football team. And so I don't see.
It's a new experience.
I don't understand. In some ways, it's like, we got to get over this. There's things to do. And
Yeah. Understandable. And it's amazing. My grandmother taught me to judge people from the heart and their mind. And,
you were lucky.
Yeah,
You were blessed.
I was blessed, and I played baseball with guys of all different races, and we bond like brothers, even to this day. And, and I think that that feeling of judging a person by the heart and their mind permeates throughout downtown Rocky Mount when it comes to the business owners and the entrepreneurs.
Yep.
And, we're all about working together and making this thing work because everybody has invested in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the point now.
Yeah.
We have sweet talked and courted these people to come
Yeah.
and make a life in Rocky Mount,
Yeah.
and they cannot be abandoned now.
Right. We have to live up to our end of the bargain. We have to do it.
That's why the event center,
Yeah.
we have to have it work.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I know people, I was before I got here, and I understand,
Yeah.
but it's here.
Right.
And I'm not real crazy about the
Sure.
the outside, but man, the inside is
great.
so well done. It's as professional as anything growing up in Chicago.
And the exciting thing to me is that I thought it was a smart decision to bring David along. David Joyner, the general manager. See, I've known David from a long time. I've seen this guy come up from front desk, from a banquets guy. We were in hotels together in our 20s, we were younger. And I've seen him come up from working in banquets to working the front desk to, starting his own company. And so I know this guy knows how to navigate the business world and knows how to he's from the hospitality industry. Right. And I thought that was important in hiring him because he's from hospitality. And he'll run that thing just like a 5-star hotel.
I hope so, and I believe
Staff-wise,
that.
get the right people in there. And, my thing is this, so this is what I want to see with it. I don't care I want to see Loretta Lynn. I want to see young rappers. I want to see any and everybody because we got to pay that bill. So all this about making it friendly and all that, hey, if they want to bring a concert here and or they want to have a party and call it grown and sexy, don't complain about it, Rocky Mountain. We got to pay that bill. Yeah. If they're going to come here and they're going to spend money, hey, grown and sexy, short and sexy, whatever you want to call it, we got to pay that bill. Yeah. And, and I feel confident that if we do go that route and loosen up the reins a little bit and get some business here, that it'll be fine.
Once, if we can get this virus, out of our lives.
Yeah, we got to get rolling.
It has all the potential. I've taken a great-granddaughter over there to eat.
Yeah.
And lovely black woman behind the counter, and when it was time for our food, she called not my name,
Yeah.
But she said, Anna Claire,
Oh,
you know,
wow, yeah.
it was so sweet. The trains go by.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a special place.
Yeah.
The Twin Hall of Fame
Yeah.
have had 2 banquets there, and this last one, they knocked their lights out,
Yeah.
trying to have it be, and it was.
Perfect, yeah.
It was. It's a beautiful room. The people who were on staff were delightful.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Good.
delightful.
Good.
It's our fault that
Yeah.
I'm on the board there. It's our fault that it maybe takes too long.
Sure.
But as far as a setting and the accommodation and the whole thing,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. I think it'll work. I still feel confident, and I mean, I push for it, being in the Douglas block.
Yeah.
So I have no other choice but to make it work,
Yeah.
because I put my stamp of approval on it that we need this.
Right.
And it was amazing that I was that voice that was putting things on social media about it, and there was a whole fraction of the community that thought I was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I did that. But I think that it'll work. I think that with David in place and a great staff of people that's there now,
Yeah.
I think it'll work. It has to work.
It has to work.
There's no doubt about it. It has to work.
Has
What do you
to
think about the parking deck deal? What do you think? What is your feeling about that? Do we need? Now, I am for some form of economic development, as they coined the phrase towards that. I'm from the hotel industry. I already know, like, when you talk about jobs,
Yeah.
it's 120 some rooms, and not gonna be that many jobs in a hotel of that size. But I think that eventually it's gonna be needed.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah, it's gonna be needed. And I think that we just need to time it, perfect. It has to be right now. I just be honest, during a pandemic and all that. I don't know,
No way.
yeah.
It's like shooting yourself in the foot. I mean,
yeah.
and I'm overall, I'm not against anything.
Yeah, sure.
But the pieces of the puzzle that is the revitalization of Rocky Mount, we wind up having things all of a sudden take priority.
Yeah.
The center was sold partially, as I understand, that it would be a driver for business downtown.
Sure.
And of course, in some ways, I felt that was back-asswards, or however you say that.
Sure.
Bass-ackwards.
Ass backwards.
Yeah. Because my priority was Main Street.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like somehow or other, without getting into the grass about it, that that I would like the effort and the energy and some money.
Put in the existing infrastructure that we have. The existing buildings.
I don't see why that is a crazy notion.
Yeah.
And it isn't that, that...
There's a whole block of downtown that is uninhabited,
That's right.
I think it's that block before you get to Station Square, where Tower Town used to be at.
Yes.
And City Trends used to be at.
Yep.
And, I'm with you. I'm a business guy. I always try to look and be progressive and look towards the future. Man, the way I was just raised in business, it always makes me say, okay, let me take a more slow and approach.
Studied approach.
Yeah.
There is, and I'm not privileged to the meetings that might take place over this, but I haven't heard any evidence that what is the capacity going to have to be to keep it running.
Yeah.
And as far as the garages start,
Yeah. I'm excited about the shops and stuff coming
That
up.
I
I'm
that I
excited
can
about
listen
that.
to.
Filling in the infield, in the Douglas block
Yeah,
with,
yeah, yep,
new modern, building, but still carrying on the look and feel of the historic
yep,
district. And,
yep,
I'm all for that. I'm all for the hotel. I just want it to be smart and to
yep.
make sure it's the right time to
Exactly,
do it.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm not mad at um I'm not mad at when our local government thinks ahead and broad and want to do things. That doesn't upset me at all. Uh I just want it to be thought out,
Yeah,
smart,
yeah,
and measured, and and if that's what I would say would create a sense of urgency for me if it's done smart, and not saying that the way that
yeah.
they and in the government's mind, our local government's mind, the way that they're doing it, they look at it as, I think they're saying that this is smart from their behalf. So it's just a difference of opinion. I always want the middle ground. You know, I always love to sit down with people that disagree with my train of thought. And the goal is to always find some sort of middle ground,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
learn something
and learn
too.
something in the process.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. This has been great. Um, I have one more question. And that question is, how can we better, how can we close the divide as a community? I don't care about the nation. Like a lot of people, they compare that. Like and it's funny because I saw for the first time when I was a manager at a young age that what I did on this level affected the entire company as a whole.
Yeah.
And once I saw that, that became like a part of my life. Any effort that I make, I always feel like it's gonna affect the entire, if it could affect the entire city as a whole. And what do you think we could do to heal the divide in our city? I don't care about the country. I just
I
care
know.
about
Yeah,
here in
yeah.
Rocky Mount. What do you think? What do you think some things that we could do possibly?
Well, in my humble opinion,
Yeah.
you know, part of it is that we can't get over this mistrust.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That's
assume
real.
on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from my point of view, um, until we get some things settled, it's like letting people decide things that we're not sure we can trust.
Mm.
And so I don't know that anybody is, like you say, a hotel.
Yeah.
Would I like to have seen the Carlton House
Yeah.
be honored
Sure.
and absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think somehow or other, maybe enough people like you and I
Yeah.
that believe.
Two totally different backgrounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we believe and it seems doable to me.
Yeah.
I've said if Tarboro can do it, we can do it better.
Yeah. We can do
That
it.
line
Yeah.
from "There's anything you can do, I can do better."
That's right.
Well, why not?
We are Rocky Mount. Really to me, like I have this supreme confidence that we are the leaders in this area. Wilson follows our lead, and Spring Hope and whoever.
Well, we
know,
need to be.
Yeah,
We need to be for the families
That's
that
how
are here.
That's how we grew up. We grew up as Rocky Mount being the shining light, of every city around us.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, we people in my age group, we still carry that confidence and bravado around.
It's good.
And we believe that. I don't care about what Wilson is doing.
Yeah.
That's right. Like you're beneath us. That's how I feel. It's not, it's no offense against Wilson, but that's how I feel in my heart. I'm from Rocky Mount.
The reason, I think one of the strongest reasons I have to believe
Yeah.
is because of people like you.
Really?
Absolutely.
I'm just a regular little black guy from
Yeah,
Little Raleigh.
regular little black guy that has got a heart to serve. And I think of Kevin when he ran for.
Yeah.
He's a fine man. He's
Yeah.
you, Jay. There are people
Yeah.
here that have their heads on, their hearts are right,
Yeah.
and it's not from a selfish thing, but for their community, that all of you,
Yeah.
are beating.
God, family, and community.
Yeah,
That's what I believe in.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think there are too many people here that feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
To allow ourselves to be hijacked somehow or other. I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
When I started in with some of the politics on the blog,
Yeah.
I had a friend who said, "Don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't get down in that." And
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
Oh my God. You know how hard it is for me? It was so hard for me. Like everybody, it shocked a lot of my friends, because they used to me being like a pit bull and just going straight loco.
Yeah.
And all, so it was to see me take like a conservative approach to criticism and, attacks and things like that. It was
Valuable.
Yeah, but I matured so much as a man though. I'm not the same person
That's
that
right.
I was.
And hopefully none of us are.
Right.
If you
right,
can't
right.
keep growing and changing, life gets small.
That's correct.
And my father used to say, the only mistake you ever make is one you don't learn from.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I kind of grew up with that notion. When I think back about who I was and who I'm still becoming,
Yeah.
It's imperative, that we allow for change.
Yeah.
I know some people who hold things so tightly
Yeah.
that there is no room to even listen to
Yeah.
another idea.
That's
or
amazing to me. That's fun. Like that frustrates me so bad. I mean that it just frustrates
Yeah.
me so
Yeah.
so bad. I never have experienced life like that.
Yeah.
From business, from work. I've always been in a situation where I gotta find a common ground with somebody.
And not
who
be
doesn't
be
really-
afraid. Someone said to me, "Stepheny, you're the only white woman I know that would get out on the Main Street and talk to three strangers
Yeah, yeah.
and not think a thing about it."
Yeah.
And they were delightful.
Yeah.
So I think that somehow or other is one way to not be afraid of one another.
Yeah, yeah. If Rocky Mount was your grandchild, what advice would you give it at this moment?
Oh, without doubt, the one thing that comes to mind is that saying about always make a circle large enough to include everybody.
Great.
Always make a circle large enough. And I believe that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just have to, it was like and we won't go into it, but my great Clarence Thomas idea. And
Oh,
you said,
God.
Stepheny. And I listened and reluctantly agreed
Yeah, yeah.
that it wasn't time to use him as an example
Yeah, yeah. Good guy.
of what
Yeah,
he endured.
yeah, yeah.
And so I've let that go.
Yeah.
But I have you to thank for the idea that, maybe don't let it go, but not now.
Right, right.
And I trust your wisdom in that because,
Yeah. Say that again. That was a classic. Say that again about the circle. That's amazing. Say it again.
to always draw a circle that is large enough to include everyone.
Wow. On that note, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You got to come back.
Well,
you and I we got to come back.
They probably heard enough. But I thank you, Tarek,
Thank you.
for the great example you are, and
Thank you.
one of the lights
Yes, ma'am.
on Main Street.
Thank you. Thank you. This is another episode of the Independent Thinkers Podcast where we talk about local life, sports, and politics. Thank our special guest, Miss Stepheny. And we'll see you next time. Wanda Pittman's Baby Boy, sign it off. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.